Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent furor that has erupted in the Parliament of India related to the ill treatment of the Indian migrants who illegally tried to enter United States and were deported on a military air flight. So this illegal journey that is carried out by many of the migrants wishing to move to the Western countries, especially the United States, the route taken by them is called as donkey route. So in this video, we'll try to understand that why Indians are trying to enter US via donkey route, what is the donkey route, and what is the recent issue where the protests have erupted in Parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, related to the treatment of the Indian migrants. Now, in this context, the opposition, all the opposition party, we can say, have put up a united front against the central government, and they have asked explanation or demanded government to reply that why United States of America, which India considered itself as a very strong ally and partner, has given inhuman treatment to the Indian citizens deported on the US military plane. Now, also to overall we can say to show their protest and anger, the opposition MPs have disrupted many times yesterday the proceedings in the Lok Sabha that has resulted in the adjournment of the assembly. Not only that, even in the Rajya Sabha, where External Affairs Minister is a member of, the question has been asked by many India bloc parties related to various issues pertaining to the illegal immigration and illegal migrant from India. So they have questioned him also outside Parliament, in the Parliament hall, we can say, Parliament complex basically, we can see a large number of opposition MPs and including well-known leaders such as Mallikarjun Kharge, we have Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, as well as the we can say chief of the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav, was seen protesting against this inhuman treatment. And the banner you can see that reads that they are humans, the illegal migrants who have been brought to India, they are humans, not prisoner, and they have protested against the what we can say shackles that were put on their hands and feet during the flight. Now, opposition have questioned various things related to this entire issue to the External Affairs Minister generally, where they have asked and demanded that does the government know about the treatment that was meted to the 104 Indians who were brought on this C-17 aircraft and included 19 women as well. So there is reported that their legs were changed, their hands were handcuffed. Also, does the government know that America is preparing to send back 7,25,000 Indians in a similar way? Why 7,25,000? Because as per the recent estimate, it is believed that this is the number of Indian citizens who have illegally migrated to United States and currently are situated in the territory of US. Maybe many of them have already been put in the detention center by the border guards. So third question that has been asked is how many more Indians have been kept in detention center in America and what is the condition? Also, whether any consular access has been provided by the Indian embassy to them or not. And last, does the government understand that these people who are presently in the United States who have tried to migrate there illegally, they went there, they also have accused that it is the failure of the government because government were not able to provide the 2 crore jobs that has promised in the last year, and it is largely due to the lack of jobs, lack of good employment opportunities. These situations and these regions have forced the people from India to migrate to US for a better life. Now, in this context, the External Affairs Minister has clearly stated that as far as the deportation procedure of illegal migrant is concerned, this is nothing new. For example, the handcuffs, the shackle in the legs that we're talking about, it is a standard operating procedure. That is what he has explained to the assembly. And this is something that US has adopted not only toward India, but all the deported illegal migrants, whether they are from Brazil, whether they are from Colombia, a similar kind of restraint has been offered to them, and this is as per the 2012 policy of the US government itself. Second, also he has said that center obviously will not sit back. They will try to engage with the US government and will try to ensure that deportees are not mistreated in any manner. Also, he has suggested that as per the recent conversation he had with his counterpart, maybe in the United States, the women and the children were not had any kind of restraint. It is only the male members who were put under the handcuffs. Also, as per the recent estimate, it is believed that since year 2009, total 15,756 illegal Indian immigrants have been deported from United States, and it was the obligation of all countries to take back their nationals if they're found to be living illegally abroad. That means India cannot say, or India does not have the option of not accepting these deportees, not allowing the aircraft to land in India if US government made such kind of request. Now, if you look at the data here, we can see clearly since 2009, this has been the overall number of illegal migrants being deported back to the United States. And interestingly, the highest number of migrants who were deported to India from US was in year 2019, where the figure stands at around 2040. Then same in 2020 year, you have the illegal deportation of 1889 migrants. Now, both of these years, if you try to understand, is the Trump's first presidency. And again, same thing we are seeing here in the presidency of this Joe Biden. We can see the number of deportation has been relatively less. And again, in 2024, however, the number has risen. Now, again, because we know that Trump has taken a very hardline approach on the illegal immigration, in the near future, we can see these numbers rising even to a greater extent, even to the highest of the entire last 1 decade's history. So in 2025, that is the 104 citizens who have been brought from the India. Now, as far as the US Custom and Border Protection data is concerned, it is believed that the Indian citizens constitute the 5th largest group in terms of the illegal migrants who are trying to enter India, trying to enter the United States via its southwest border that is related to the border we can see in the Central America, Mexico region. Also, the majority of these migrants, if we talk about the composition in India, largely belong to 2 states, that is Punjab and Gujarat. Now, why Punjab and Gujarat? Because it is the people of these states who have a long history of migration to the Western countries, and many of the people, many of the migrants who are willingly trying to migrate to US illegally, they have some friends, relatives in in the United States because of the long history of migration. So that might act as an additional factor why the people from these states are choosing to go there. Now, the entire discussion that we have done till now has come in the background of the US military aircraft, that is the C-17. As you can see from the image here, it made a landing not in Delhi but in the Amritsar airport of Punjab, carrying 104 Indian nationals. This marked the first deportation flight to India from United States under the Donald Trump's administration. Before that, he also has sent such kind of military flight taking the Colombian illegal migrants to the Colombia. Many deportees have remained unaware they were being sent back to India until just before departure. There has been an instance where the woman has claimed that she was studying in United Kingdom, then she went to Mexico where she was arrested by the border guard, and then she was brought back to India. So she has requested the government of India to send her back to UK for her further studies. So similar kind of cases we have seen in this case also. Now, the mass deportation signals the Trump administration intensified crackdown on the illegal immigration. We have discussed in our earlier videos as well that Trump has asked help from both the border guards as well as from the US military, and has also given a target to each of the immigration agents that they have to arrest or basically question a certain number of immigrants who might be staying in the United States illegally. Also, he has tried to end the birthright citizenship. This is largely his steps, is nothing but a delivery of promise that he has made to his core voter base, largely MAGA supporters, we can say. Now, if we try to understand, we know that many of the Indian citizens, if they are not granted visa by the US embassies and consulates in India, they adopt an approach of taking the donkey route. Donkey route is the illegal migration route, which undertakes a long journey, many times extending up to many months before they can be admitted and enter the United States. So the first step in this particular donkey route, most popular donkey route, if you remember last year, I think Shah Rukh Khan has made a picture as well about this. Picture is called as Donkey, that basically maps the entire route that illegal immigrants take from India. So the most popular donkey route from India is to reach a Latin American country, because you know that United States is having the closest land border to the South American countries. So many times they make countries such as Ecuador, countries such as Bolivia, as well as even Guyana as their base. Why? Because these countries have visa on arrival for Indians. So simply they can take a flight, they can enter into these countries. That means they can come closer to the United States. Then some other countries, including Brazil and Venezuela, in recent time also have become a popular spot because they give tourist visa easily to the Indians. And also a migrant route depends on which country his agent has links in, because migrants do not take or undertake this entire journey by himself. Obviously, he has to contact some agents who have the links to the human trafficking network that is operating in the entire area from the South America to North America. So depending on which kind of agent the people contact, they are given a particular country as a destination from where they can start their arduous journey, largely which is through the dense forests, rivers, and hiding from the police and border patrols. Reaching Latin American countries, thus, as you can say, is not tough because of the easier visa process, and also, however, it can take months, as we have discussed before, to even do so. Now, once they reach the Latin American countries, in the next step, the most agent land their clients in Latin American country and then take them to the Colombia. Now, you can see Colombia is situated here. It is part of the South America, and Colombia is connected to the North American continent by a country called as Panama, which is a type of isthmus. Isthmus, as you know, is a narrow strip of land that connects two large land masses. So the Panama Isthmus connects the North America and South America. Now, there in the Panama Isthmus, if you try to look, connected to Colombia is a region that is called as Darien Gap. Now, Darien Gap is considered also as the most deadliest route that a migrant has to undertake during his journey. So, this involves crossing a dangerous forest between two countries. Now, here the risk is not only of because of the forest landscape. Obviously, there is a continuous rainfall that occurs here. There is a lack of clean water. There is a lack of food. There is a risk of the wild animals that might attack. And also the most important risk, or we can say the biggest risk that comes from this area, is through the this charter territory that we are talking about, this Darien Gap, is largely a lawless land. Lawless land means the government either from Colombian side or the Panamanian side does not have any control over this territory. That means once you enter into this territory, you are completely under the control of such networks, such gangs, which are either involved in drug trafficking, human trafficking, or even those gangs which we can call as an anti-government gang or anti-government guerrilla fighters. So these are the larger risks. Migrant can face robbery, and even in the case of women, rape have been reported in this area. And also because the criminals here operate with impunity, as they do not have any fear of the government or law. So that is why the risk becomes very, very high. If everything goes well, however, if some of the migrants remain successful, they can take 8 to 10 days to pass this gap. Then they can enter into the Panama, and then from Panama you have a road linkage that connects entire Mexico and then further to the United States of America. However, if a migrant suppose dies in this Darien Gap, in this dense forest, there is no way to retrieve the body, and many times the body cannot be even sent back to the home of the migrant for last rites. So that is the kind of threat and danger we're talking about. Now, as far as the US border is concerned, so US and Mexico has a total border length of about 3,140 kilometers. However, a large part of this border has fenced, but fence is something that is not difficult to climb. So easier once migrant reaches this US Mexico border, they keep looking for the opportunity, and when they see that there is no border guards in this area, they climb the fence and then enter into the US territory where they ask for asylum. Apart from that, also many of the migrants choose to cross the dangerous Rio Grande River, again flowing at the border of US and Mexico. However, the US authorities do not pose much of a challenge while crossing the border. It is after crossing over, migrants are detained, and that is something which they are not fearful of, because once they are detained, they are kept in the camps and they feel that they will ask for asylum. They will say that I have a risk to my life if I go back to my home country, and US taking a liberal approach can grant them asylum. So their fate depends on whether US authorities find them fit for asylum or not. It depends on the administration to administration, depends on the president to president. So that is why we are seeing in the case of Donald Trump, he has taken a very hardline approach, and that is why the illegal migrants have to face a much more greater extent of ordeal. Now, when you talk about the journey that illegal migrant has to undertake, the donkey route as we call it, it is not very easier either in terms of movement or in terms of the risk, but also it is not easier because the donkey route or the donkey journey that an agent promises for the migrants cost anywhere between 15 lakh to 40 lakh, and even going as high as rupees 70 lakh. So agents in India have connection with traffickers all the way to the United States, and also if suppose agents that the migrants have contacted with, if he is a fraud, he failed to make the payment, it can mean a matter of life and death for the migrant, because the agents in the South America, they will not take the migrants further anymore. Families often pay, however, such a huge sum of money, obviously it is difficult to pay in single installment, so they pay in multiple installment. And in this context, recently, while documenting a journey after coming back from United States, a person has said that if my parents had failed in making the payment, traffickers in Mexico would have shot me dead. That is the story of a truck driver who is in the US waiting for his asylum file to be cleared, and now he has been deported back. Now, why people are risking such a route or such a journey to go to the United States? Now, this can be understood from the overall trend that emerged specifically in some states of India, such as Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, where after independence, many of these families migrated to these developed nations and they found a better social, economic, and political conditions. And thus, it created a lasting inspirations and aspirations for others to follow suit. Also, as we know, in English, a dictum goes that the grass is always greener on the other side. And that is something that is seen by many of the youth population of these states, and specifically in India, where they feel that they do not have enough skill set to make their living here, or the skill set that they possess will not grant them or give them a good sum of money, salary, payment, wages, whatever you can say. And in search of a better life, then they try to take a footstep of their ancestors, of their relatives, families, and friends, and all that. So this trend has only intensified over the years, with both legal and illegal migration on the rise. The allure of better lives, as we have discussed about, drives many to take these risks. And also, we know about a term that is referred as American Dream. American Dream largely refers to the promise of a higher income, of a better opportunities, greater opportunities, because you know that US has been referred traditionally as a land of opportunities, golden opportunities, and an improved standard of living. And many of the migrants who go there, they think that they will work here, they are hard in US for a long period of time, they will save a huge amount of money, which they will send back to their families, and families, the father, mother, and other family members can then live a comfortable life in the India. For many, this dream is worth the dangers and the financial sacrifices that we have talked about that illegal migrants has to face. Now, obviously, we talk about there is no such solution that we can apply in short term. The long term solution can only be made by making people aware who are taking this arduous journey, because even many people are not aware that what kind of regions they will pass through. Many times there has been report that the agents who claim and take money from these illegal migrants, they claim that the entire journey will be only by air, they will not have to face and go through the this hurdles and dangers. So this is something government has to make people aware about. Not only that, by talking with this illegal migrants, at least who have been deported, government can ensure that the agents who are operating in this area, the agents who are having contact with this human trafficking group, against them a strict action be taken, so that, as obviously, if the facilitator itself is made disappear by the government or is arrested and a strict action is taken against them by the government, it will have an impact on the life of illegal migrants, as they will not have any option to contact anyone to take this journey. So that is the other step. Apart from that, obviously, largely the youth population is migrating because of better life opportunity. So government of India should ensure that there is skillful employment that is being created in the economy, so that the people who are wasting millions and millions of rupees just to migrate outside of India, they can find ample opportunity to start a business, to have a better job, and have a much more better condition of life in the India itself, in the home country itself. So if all these steps are taken, obviously we can put a halt or at least decrease the extent of illegal migration and the dangers and perils of the donkey route. So that is all about this particular video. I hope you got the idea about the entire issue surrounding the deportation of illegal migrant of who are Indian citizens from United States. What is the arduous journey that they take, and what are the challenges and way forward. So that is all for this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such helpful content. Thank you very much.